All right, let's welcome in Erik Bielderman, journalist for L'Equipe. Erik, really appreciate you coming in. Before we talk Mbappe, Erik, former Nottingham Forest forward Trevor Francis sadly passed away today at the age of 69, and as well as having a legacy of winning the European Cup with Forest and scoring all the goals for the likes of Sheffield Wednesday and QPR, he also inadvertently had an impact on Eric Cantona's career as well, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. I was in Sheffield when Cantona was on trial. It was early January 1992. And after 1 week of trial, Trevor Francis was still in doubt about signing Eric Cantona. So he said to his agent, I want Eric to have one more winter test with us before to make a decision. And Cantona was so upset about it that he sent a fax and say, uh, I, Eric Cantona, will not accept such a shame. And I'm taking my belongings and I go. And I still have the original fax from Eric Cantona on that night. And the morning after, they made contact with Leeds United. And 5 days after, he signed with Leeds United and became England champion. So Trevor Francis on that night was not really. Um, he didn't make the good choice, unfortunately for Sheffield Wednesday.
I think it's fair to say he didn't make the good choice at all. Let's talk about a player that has a few choices to make, and that's Kylian Mbappe. The last time we had you on, Erik, that was a couple of weeks ago. This saga was growing and growing and growing. I never thought it would get to the stage where Mbappe could be going to Saudi Arabia. We know that PSG have accepted a £259 million bid for Kylian Mbappe from Al-Hilal. What can you tell us? Fill us in the gaps here. What's going on?
Uh, it's official that Paris Saint-Germain has accepted to be in talk with Al-Hilal, and the offer, in as you say, 259 million pounds, 300 million euros, have been accepted by Paris Saint-Germain. But as you know, when a player is under contract, uh, there is no chance if the player doesn't want to go to Al Hilal that he will go there. So Paris Saint Germain made the statement public to put the pressure on. On Kylian Mbappe. They want him to make a new statement. They say, "Oh, we don't have only Al Hilal. We also are in direct talk with Barcelona. Even if Barcelona is far from being able to pay such a huge transfer fee, they say about Man United, about Inter Milan, about Chelsea. So." The policy of Paris Saint-Germain is to make Kylian Mbappe as unpopular and hated by the Paris Saint-Germain fans. They want to show that this player might be even ready to sign for Saudi Arabia because the wages for Kylian Mbappe is said to be in euro 700 million euros per season, which is about 600 million pound.
That's amazing. It's outrageous. Erik, we know that the Paris Saint-Germain fans can be very passionate, very volatile. Do you
Yeah,
think that this relationship between the fans and Mbappe has now broken down irreparably?
I do believe it so. Of course, if early September no transfer have been settled, we can imagine that Luis Enrique will not accept the policy of leaving him on the bench during the whole season. And we know, as you say, fans at Paris Saint Germain, maybe more than what you are used in England in terms of faithfulness with the club,
Mm.
might turn their mind again if Kylian Mbappe is back to play in Europe in the main January, February, March, April, when there is the big challenge, and if he makes Paris Saint Germain winning the Champions League, they will back him. But I do believe that the divorce is a definitive divorce between the fans and Kylian Mbappe.
Is it a definite divorce between Kylian Mbappe and the club? Like, what's the situation there? Like, how likely is it that we start the season and Kylian Mbappe is still a Paris Saint-Germain footballer?
If I had a clue to answer properly this question, I would make the headline at L'Equipe on tomorrow morning. It's such a complicated mind game that it's hard to say at the moment. It's obvious that on the deadline asked by Paris Saint-Germain to make the deal of a new contract extension on the 31 of July will not be respected. So it means that on the 1st of August, the situation will be exactly the same, with Paris Saint-Germain trying to sell the player, trying to make as much publicity negatively about Kylian Mbappe behavior, about the greedy situation, saying that he wants to go for free, that he has already signed an agreement with Real Madrid for 2024, and that the club wants to get rid of him because they can't even work properly on the transfer market, because the players like Harry Kane, which is a link to come to Paris Saint-Germain, Harry Kane knows if he comes to play alongside Kylian Mbappe with a different tactical option, or will he come to play as a real frontman without having even the shadow of Kylian Mbappe? We can't make any proper deal with such a top world-class player like Harry Kane without letting him know what kind of Paris Saint-Germain he will sign for.
This could be very good business for Paris Saint-Germain, though. It sounds like the fans are ready to draw a line under this saga. And if they end up recouping £259 million, they've got to look on that as like favourable business.
Of course. And behind that, they will save 250 million euros, 220 million pounds with the wages, the bonus, and part of settle agreement with Kylian Mbappe. So they will make 300. I speak in euros. Sorry, 300 million euros plus 250 saved. That's $500 million of euros, which is not far to be nearly the same in pound. So of course, if Kylian is ready to go to Al-Hilal, they will open a big Jeroboam of champagne at Paris Saint-Germain, and even maybe a couple of Jeroboam. But it's hard at the moment to imagine, before really the end of the deadline transfer market, that Kylian Mbappe will accept to play for Al-Hilal. Why so? Because he will be miles away from the very, very top football. And 2024, there is the Euro in France. And a couple of months after, there is the Olympic Games, where Kylian Mbappe have expressed his absolute will to play for France for this. Because if there is something we can't deny about criticism to Kylian Mbappe, his dedication to the jersey of the French team, whatever it is, the Olympic team or the A team, it's an absolutely is absolutely a dedicated attitude from him. So I can't believe that within the next couple of days you will call me to say, oh, he has signed to Al-Hilal and he will go for it just for money.
Eric, as always, my man, appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much. Erik Bielderman there, journalist for L'Equipe. You know what? Me and you've discussed this. I think we discussed it with Jordan Henderson, and I was like, well, Jordan Henderson's career's over if he goes to Saudi because he's not going to get into the England squad. I don't think it matters with Mbappe. No. I don't think it matters. I think Mbappe could go to Saudi and still get in the French squad. Are you telling me that they're going to drop Mbappe if he plays in Saudi?
No, I don't think there's any jeopardy around
no jeopardy at all.
His place in that French side. If you look at his contribution at the World Cup, if you look at his contribution to the World Cup final, surely there's enough credit in the bank there to ensure that he goes to Germany. Yeah.
Will he be good enough though? Let's.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
No one knows the level of what are we comparing the Saudi league to? What is it? So is it as though he's playing in the national leagues? You know what I mean? What is it realistically?
I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say national league, but I would say the teams in Saudi aren't as good as the teams in the Championship, are they?
No, not at all. No chance. Absolutely no chance.
So for example, if Queen's Park Rangers were in the Saudi league, they're winning that league. Are they?
Potentially.
But look, Kylian Mbappe is still going to play for France on an international footing. There is no two ways about
how
that.
much of these... Look, we're talking like he's already gone.
But it's only a year. Even if he does go, it's only a year. And also, when we say a year, we mean a year in footballing terms. So by this time next year, he's already training with Real Madrid.
He'll be 25.
And he'll already be training with Real Madrid. Yeah. Ultimately, it's a 9 month.
Erik Bielderman didn't seem like... Me and you are very not that... I'm more of he could go rather than he will stay or, sit it out or whatever he does. Erik Bielderman there almost seems to suggest that he won't go and there are other teams looking at him. The other teams, look, this all comes down to money. Inter Milan are interested, we know, Man City. None of them can get anywhere near offering him even half of that 700 million.
No, nobody's making him a billionaire apart from Al-Hilal.
Yeah.
They are the only side that are going to make him a billionaire. And for that reason, Ade, I know that this isn't really in keeping or in tune with the soul of football, and I imagine that people who are listening to this will think that some people will think that this bid is actually at the core of what's wrong with football. But I think Kylian Mbappe has to go. I think it would make a mockery of his decision as a provider to his family.
Oh, stop it.
What?
Stop it. To provider to his family, he's on $500,000 a week now. In fact, he's probably on more than $500,000 a week.
Do you think that he should turn down the 700 grand a week?
700 million.
700 million overall,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you think he should turn that down?
Yeah, I do. I think what I've said at the top in terms of I think he's the best player currently playing football right now. I think that player should be playing in the best league in the world, whether it be La Liga or the Premier League or even Serie A, not playing in the Saudi League. That's what I think.
I think that he has to go. I don't know how anybody can encourage anybody else in good conscience to not go.
I get it if it was Jordan Henderson. The Jordan Henderson one we had a debate, and I don't like it. Liverpool's captain, but I get it. You're 33. I
Jordan
understand
Henderson
it.
has to go.
No, I get it. He's 33. He has to go. He's never going to get a contract like that again. Mbappe will get that.
9 months.
Mbappe will get that in 4 years' time.
He goes for 9 months, and then it's already written in the stars that he will then go on to Real Madrid in what? In a year's time. This time next year, he's playing for Real Madrid.
Is it really? Let me throw you another curveball on that. Okay, 700 million, fantastic. First season, it was a success. All the eyeballs were on the Saudi League. In fact, it's gone through the roof. 800 million to stay with us for another season.
No, but by that point...
What? 800 million?
By that point...
Do it for your family.
By that point, he has to go to Real Madrid.
Why?
By that point, it becomes about football and legacy because everything else is secure.
But it'll only be 25.
Yes, but by that point, he's a billionaire, and then he can go to Real Madrid, secure his legacy, win his European Cups, and win his La Liga
titles. What do the
titles.
rich like getting?
Richer.
There you go.
And the poor keep getting ignored, Lord.
Yeah,
Bit Dizzy Rascal on a Monday night. There you go.
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.